I'm Sarah Goodman. This is Stephen Goodman. We have been, we're in Charleston Beaches. We have been a franchisee for just about a year. We didn't launch until January, so we are, 11 months in. Our background, I was a securities lawyer. I did high yield bond transactions, IPOs, and that's how I met Stephen.
My background's hospitality, entertainment, theme parks, hotels, casinos, restaurants, and now vacation rental.
Awesome. So now that you guys have been involved in the business, what would you say was one of the key things that attracted you to the business when you guys were looking? Because you're obviously a very talented couple. You could go a lot of different ways. You got a phenomenal background. What were some of the key things, key attributes or whatever that grabbed your attention about iTrip Vacations?
We definitely wanted to have our own business and have a flexibility of a proven business and a franchise structure, but also have enough room within that franchise structure to get to spread our own wings and leave our own footprint as business owners. And we already lived in Charleston, really wanted to stay in Charleston, and felt like it was a great fit in terms of the vacation rentals overall in our area. We also loved it's a great combination of a desk job and people job, but also if you're tired of sitting at your desk, you can easily get up and find plenty of other things to do, either inspecting properties or working with property owners or...
Don't want to be desk bound, so one of the beauties is you got an iPad, you got a phone, you take your desk with you, you're out, you're meeting people. Whether that's guests or whether you're doing business development, a lot of it's just meeting people and explaining what you do. But for me, aside from the things Sarah said about being in Charleston and being your own boss, it's the opportunity to be at the forefront of I think a really exciting, changing industry. I mean, this is where hotels need to go, and I think of ourselves as just another form of a hotel with all the things that guests actually want. So it's great to be kind of doing this and watching the hotel guys trying to figure out how to compete with us because they don't really want to acknowledge us. And to me, this is where the growth is going to be. So you don't get to do that very often in your career. I've been lucky I did it in hotels. I now get to do it in vacation rental.
Cool. We've also talked with a lot of people that we're really excited by our timing of joining iTrip, that iTrip is, it's not a startup, but it's not so big that we don't get to be involved in the sort of at the corporate level. So it's great timing from that perspective.
Yeah, I had really good conversations with Todd and with Ashley and with you guys about where your business is going and how that impacts us and what our opportunity is. And I feel like you've listened to everything that we said, and it's nice seeing some of that come out of the work that's being done now, and they're really addressing our concerns because we're all going in the same direction. I really like that.
One of the things, as you guys know, we talked about this in the beginning, was yes, structurally we have a franchisor-franchisee relationship, but we really try to treat it like a partnership. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a little bit about what you just said, but maybe you could expand just a little bit about how you feel that working together is, or like you said, the listening component of that. It's not just our way or the highway. It really is a collaborative component. Maybe you could...
It is, and I think part of it starts, this might be a long-winded way of answering your question, but part of it starts with the training process, with learning the software, learning the hub, and once you do the business development training, off you go, and you get your first property and you think, oh my God, I don't remember anything from the hub training. So what we did, we picked up the phone, you got straight, Stephen had a number of conversations directly with Ashley, directly with Todd. Todd helped us immensely on everything with our rate management, to how to structure. We do 3-night minimums for all of our properties. We're not doing 7 nights, and a lot of that came with out of those really early on conversations with Todd. And so that's just an example. There's been if we have other, what do we do now, or we're at this stage of our business, or we're having this kind of question, the whole team is very open to taking our calls and helping us tackle problems together.
Yeah, I think it's a great team effort because it's a new industry. I mean, it's been around for a while, and we used to go on vacation rentals for 20 years. But there's no doubt in the last 3 years, it's dramatically changed with Airbnb and with HomeAway and Expedia and Booking.com, and it's changing dramatically still. And that means, I think the people that rise to the top are those people that are constantly adaptive and constantly changing and constantly figuring out what is the right way to position yourself in the business. And I think iTrip's really well placed for that, not just because of its investment in its technology, but because of its investment in people, both the people it's hiring and the franchisees that it's bringing on board, because there's a diverse range of skill sets. And you've got that forum, and you see it today at the conference. You know, people are listening, people are exchanging, people are learning from each other, and I just think there's no better way to develop your business than that.
Cool. What were some of the doubts or questions maybe you guys had when you were evaluating iTrip and getting started? Like maybe, you know, are these guys just signing us up and they're gone? Or, I mean, what are some of the potential concerns that you had, and how were those relieved? Or are they still concerns, or?
Yeah, one question was, the three founders is, with Tom, Steve, and Todd, do you get what you see? And I have, in every validation call that I've taken with every franchisee or prospective franchisee, I have made it clear that it is what you see is what you get. It's not just an illusory, you signed it and poof, it disappeared. One of our other questions was, okay, great, we got a property. I really hope the system works, because, we got our first property, and fingers crossed we've been out marketing ourselves and plugging, like, our system does all these things. And that was a big relief once we got our properties onboarded, and the system does do exactly what y'all say it's going to do.
That's definitely it. I mean, you get the business development training, you go to the market, you start knocking on the doors of realtors, you have conversations, and it makes it real. And then you do get a property, or you're close to a property, and there are frustrations. We're still talking with property owners that we started talking to in January that haven't signed up yet. But having the support of iTrip there to say, this is normal, guys. In fact, for the most part, you're doing pretty good. It's a little bit different from being out there on your own. You've got that support network. Then you do get into it, and you start looking at, well, am I pricing this right? And you put in those panic calls and say, we've got to rent this thing, and we got there. And I think we did a reasonable job because we had that support helping us get answers to critical questions quickly. There was never a moment when we sat there and went, now what do we do? We just picked up the phone, or we just sent an email, and we got a response, we got a solution, we moved through it pretty quickly. So
I will say you have to be proactive enough to either issue spot that you have a question or you need help, that you can't expect the rest of the team to just mind meld and read what's going on from other states away. You have to reach out and ask for help in order to get the help.
Cool, awesome. What would you say during your first 90 days to 6 months, what was one of the biggest surprises that maybe you didn't anticipate or think about, or just, wow, where'd that come from?
How quickly the properties would book, and how quickly we'd had to continue our business development mindset, but also suddenly now go, okay, we got guests to take care of, because we initially set up the roles. I would take the guest side and the hub side, and Sarah would do business development. But suddenly, we got several properties, we're hitting the season, we got guests calling with problems and issues and questions, and
inspections for cleaning.
And we're like, well, hold on, we've only just started learning this side of the business, now we're going to learn this other side of the business. It's a little bit of a sink or swim moment, but yeah, it was fun.
It was hard to find the right balance of, I had to keep up enough business development, but we didn't want to let our operations suffer, because we really wanted to build a strong foundation. So you don't want the pendulum to swing too far in one way or the other.
Right. Awesome. What would you say to a couple like you guys, professional couple looking to do something together, whether they're still have a young family like you guys do, or maybe they're hitting empty nesterhood and the last one's going off to college, and now husband and wife are looking to go find a business together? What would you say to them?
Don't do it. No, I'm kidding.
If you want to stay married,
we'll be talking after.
Can we stop the camera? Do we disclose all the marriage counseling we've had since we started iTrip?
we were lucky because we'd worked before together on multiple.
We've worked
ventures.
together. Our work relationship has been far longer than our personal marriage dating relationship. But I would say do it. A lot of we do have friends, or I have friends who are like, how in the world do you share an office with your husband? I'm like, yeah, and I have forever, but I now, more so than any of the other projects we've worked on, it's almost rare for the two of us to be in our office at the same time. It's either Steven's on the road.
We actually spend more time talking to
properties.
each other on the phone than we do talking in the room now.
Or I'm out of the office doing business development. But it's a great way. You can divide and conquer. We've been able to divide and conquer in multiple hats, both as husband and wife, but also as parents, and for our business and tackle. It's really nice to have that same person that you can tackle a lot of different obstacles
and I would
coming
say
your way.
defining the roles is pretty important. I mean, we didn't sit down and form a matrix because that would be way too organized. But we knew
And
where
you wouldn't stick to any
I
of
wouldn't.
the rules anyway.
But we knew where our skill sets pretty much lay. That said, be flexible because you both got to be able to do a bit of everything. Though I'm always a little scared when Sarah does a booking in the hub. I have to go check it. But it is, there are owners that gravitate towards Sarah and the owners that gravitate towards me. Even though Sarah's technically the owner relationship person, we just, for whatever reason, I have a couple that will only deal with me or just respond better to me, and Sarah has far more that respond really well to her. But it's just be flexible. It's just don't get dogmatic about it. Got to cover the important things, and some things don't get done. You just don't have the resources to do it. But try to make sure you take care of all the important stuff.
I realize you guys are still within your first year, and you've got off to a great start, obviously. Do you see this business being what you want it to be? I mean, when you guys bought the business, visioning 3 years down the road, talking to some of the people that are 2, 3, 4 years ahead of you here at the conference, I mean, can you see this business providing the lifestyle, the diversified income, the things that I know we all talked about when you were...
We definitely can, and we can see the path or the tunnel. We can see how the program works. We definitely see the long-term potential for our market and our business, and that's really
I think
exciting.
owners respond well to us as a professional versus the type of person that they're probably dealing with at a realtor's office as a property manager or as an employee. They love being in contact. They love getting a cell phone. They love the fact that they can just frankly call you any time of day and night, and some of them do. So for us, feeling that we can actually do that at a higher level is the key to ultimately growing the business. Because if you can do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, at least in our market, because we've got a lot of higher end properties, I think that gives us a leg up over everyone. So what's the growth path for that? It's huge.
Right.
So it's just time. We're not going to get 200 properties tomorrow, but word of mouth, testimonials, experience, tie that with the fact that we deliver a great result through the system and through guests. It's a very strong, compelling direction, and then layer on top of that the fact that the industry is growing so fast. There's no better place to be, I think, for the next 5 years. I think it's going to be stellar growth for us, for the industry, and for ITRA.
Awesome. One question before I get to my last one, and that is, what would you say to that person or couple that says, outside of buying my own personal residence, I've never had any experience in real estate. Knowing what you guys now know almost through your first year, is there enough here for somebody with no real estate experience to plug into this model and succeed?
I think so. I think if you are somebody who is tied into communicating and customer service and interacting with people, if you are a people person, this is spot on for you. It just happens to be a people business that involves real estate, but you don't have, I have legal experience within the real estate world, but I've not been a real estate agent or done any commercial or sort of outside buying our own residential properties. But I don't think you have to have a real estate background or a strong real estate experience for this, for something for this to be a successful venture for you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've got a lot of real estate experience, development, operations, buying, selling. But I think at the end of the day, the things that are important are universal to us as people, as consumers, as managers, as business owners. If you've got that drive and that passion, it doesn't matter that the product is a home. And you're going to learn those additional nuances of a real estate market pretty quickly, because you're going to be out talking to realtors, you're going to be out talking to mortgage brokers, insurance people, you're going to talk to the chamber. All of those people are going to give you a different perspective. And I think if you're just an aware type person who's absorbing that information, the real estate aspects of this you pick up really quickly, because we're all vacationers at the end of the day, and this is no different from any other vacation product. We just like to dress it up as different.
Awesome.
I think also on that sort of the people side, I think we've gotten tremendous response. Property owners do love the technology aspect of iTrip Vacations, but what wins them over, it's a two-front piece to get a property. It's you can get your foot in the door by describing what our website and on the integration and all the marketing and booking, what it can do, but that's only half the battle. They also want to know whether it's an issue of trust and what we're like as people. And so we have gotten a lot of feedback in terms of, if you are just a nice professional person, if you're going to respond to phone calls, take phone calls, respond to emails within 24 hours, you will. I don't even need to know what the other markets outside of Charleston are like. I know you will blow away your competition.
Yeah, just be responsive. The other thing I'd say is, and it's easy to say, but don't feel you have to take on every single property or every owner. Be selective. Take those that are going to work for you and with you, because there will be some, as there is in any business, that eat all your time and make you no money and are the ones that keep you awake at night. If you can avoid that one guy or girl or that one property, you'll actually have all the time in the world to go get the better property. So that's a lesson we learned.
It's similar to, Tom, you mentioned the partnership view earlier between the franchisor and the franchisee. We take that same approach with our property owners, and we try to convey to them, we are your partner for this venture. This is not, yes, we have a contract, but we're not doing a black and white thing. We like to show all the ways that we can add value for our partnership and work together, and that really goes a long way to winning over property owners, but also keeping them.
Awesome. Last question. Knowing everything you know today, almost again a year into the model, would you do it again? And if the answer is yes, which I'm assuming it's yes, if not, we'll edit it out. Why? So maybe start off, knowing what we know today.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say yes, because it's been a lot of fun, all right? And at the end of the day, you gotta have fun. We've done better than our original projections, so that helps. But I think just it's tapped all the skills that we've learned over our careers in different ways. Continues to. It's challenging. There's no doubt about that. It's challenging.
And it is hard work. There are days
It's
that
hard
are
work.
really long and really tiring, but there's also, we control our schedule. So if we need to do something with our kids or our kids' school, or we can, build, we have the flexibility to build around that, which is important. I agree. We've had a lot of fun. It has, there are things I've been surprised about what skills or what aspects of our personalities have really aligned with this business. But overall, yeah, I would definitely do it again.